Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to our reflection series where we highlight the continuous improvement efforts taking place all across our state's enterprise. And then we hear a little bit about where agencies are in their customer experience journey. I'm Talia Mazzara. I'm a senior performance advisor here at Your Washington. And the focus at our agency is to improve the customer experience with state government, one interaction at a time. Today, I am so pleased to welcome Danica Taylor. She is a professional licensing representative too with the Department of Licensing, and she is here to share about how using customer experience methods helped one of their teams improve licensing time, decrease calls, improve employee experience, and improve back office processes. Thank you so much for joining us, Danica.
Thank you. I'm super excited to talk about this.
Yeah, we are so here to have you with us today. Well, let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do, and what is your division in your agency responsible for?
So, when most people think of the DOL, they think their driver's licenses, their tabs, that sort of thing. But there's another side of that. There's a whole division that deals with business and professional licensing. So, anything from a tattoo artist to a real estate agent, there's an entire spectrum of professionals that we serve. And when you go to buy a house or get your hair cut, those folks are licensed through us. I supervise the team that is responsible for licensing security guards, bail bond agents, private investigators. We focused our customer experience project on security guards. That is our
Oh,
biggest licensing base, and they had a lot of struggles. Um, so that is what we do. We're a small but mighty team.
awesome. Yes. And we've worked a little bit with you all, and we've heard that you are a great team. And then you've also helped us as we are diving into this customer experience direction. So I just want to say for the folks that are listening, DOL and this team, just great resources as it when it comes to the customer experience methods that they use to help improve that. And so we are just so excited to have you be our first interview to really talk about how to do this customer experience thing, how to do it right, and to just really glean from your experience and get some inspiration off of our time with you today. So, with that, thank you for that intro. And yeah, I just want to go into how would you all define customer experience in your agency's context?
So, in the context of what we do, customer experience mostly focuses on any interaction that any member of the public has to have with us. So, it's anything from somebody wanting to know if someone has a valid license. Is this somebody I should go to for this service? To somebody wanting to become a licensed professional or renew a license or enhance their license with an endorsement. So that is really how we define customer experience is anytime a member of the public has to interact with us, they are our customer. And we have really shifted our focus to their perspective and how their interactions with us go.
Yeah. And with that, that's pretty broad. So you just
hmm
and I think this is assumed, but just to make sure we touch on it, you serve all populations.
Yes, absolutely. Every Washington resident, and as a matter of fact, that's our mission is to help every Washington resident live, work, drive, and thrive. And that is an agency-wide mission. But it's also folks from all over the place because we do have people who come here to work temporarily for various different things. We have companies that are nationwide that need Washington licensing for different things. So really, if you live on planet Earth, we can help you.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Well, what does your agency currently do in terms of gathering customer feedback?
So there are currently two places that are specifically designed to gather that feedback. One is on our regular website, and one is through our customer portal. There's areas where you can leave feedback. You can tell us a little bit about your experiences, good, bad, in between. It can be as simple as a rating out of 5 stars, or it can be detailed. We also gather that information over the phone if a customer has something to say about their experience, or through email. So really any avenue, again, any avenue that they touch base with us, we take their feedback and we push it forward, and we make sure that our leadership is aware of what our customer base is going through, and use that to improve our processes, or to tell other teams and other divisions, this is what's working for us. This is what we're hearing from our customers that they're really pleased about.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's easy to access for folks. You have a
Absolutely.
transparent, you know, open door policy, if you will. So it sounds like it's
100%.
not hard to access a way to give you feedback. That's awesome. Would you
Not at all. Yeah.
say, without like going into data specifics, would you say that when you go and look at all the feedback that comes in, is there like a hefty amount of feedback? Are folks using those avenues to reach out and speak and give their input?
They are. They absolutely are. They are making sure to let us know how we're doing, and really sometimes it's a matter of this one individual is having an issue with this one particular thing,
Mhm.
and we will actually use that feedback that they submit through our website or our portal to go
Mhm.
back and help them
Oh,
personally to see what's
nice.
going on and see how we can assist them.
Oh,
Um, we also gather the data like all agencies do, and it gives us a broad sort of snapshot. How are we doing? Sort of, I won't say report card, but definitely gives us an idea of whether we're headed in the right direction.
absolutely. Yeah, that was my next question is
Mhm.
how do you use your feedback to improve the journey? I know I'm sure some folks are have the experience of, oh, we gather so much data at our agency, but every now and then you'll hear that someone says, but I don't know what we do with it. So
Right.
it sounds like you have a good handle on, eyes on the data. You're either reaching out individually or you may take it and use it to improve a process. So, off the top of your head, how do you look at this and decide this is what we're going to do with this chunk of feedback? Are you breaking it into themes? Um, do you already have like certain things you're watching out for to go back and use that feedback that you get? Or how do you use the input that you get to go and improve processes?
So at the boots on the ground level, we're definitely keeping an eye on common hiccups, roadblocks, things like that, because our goal is to remove barriers to licensure.
Yeah.
Um, on a broader level, division-wide, agency-wide, they're looking at the data from a 35,000-foot view, and they are looking for themes. They are looking for, okay, this is a real pinch point we're hearing broadly, and we definitely need to address it. So that's how we end up getting the time and resources to focus on those things, is when um, the division-wide and agency-wide leadership takes a look at those numbers and goes, oh, goodness, we're seeing a lot of people who are having problems with this one thing.
Hmm.
So that's really helpful. And we also used the feedback, the common themes we were hearing to, honestly, I think it's how we ended up as sort of the guinea pigs for our customer experience project that we did. And that was through the director's office. I'm so sorry, my dog is barking.
That's fine. That's totally.
Um,
I can't even hear
so
it,
the
honestly.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So the customer experience team in the Office of Equity, Performance, and Accountability
Mhm.
did reach out to us, and we were lucky number one. So we sort of worked together to build a customer experience map.
Mm,
And because so many of our customers are security guard companies and security guard customers were struggling with getting their licenses in a timely manner, dealing with the online system, understanding what was required of them. That I is what we worked together to map out and see exactly what needed to be addressed and what we could address quickly.
love it. Thank you for that. So, where would you say you are in your customer experience journey? If you were to say early, growing, advanced, where would you place yourself on that spectrum?
Um, I would say that we are growing. This has been about a 2-year project,
Mhm.
but the way I see it is approaching this from a very human-centered model is not work that's ever done
Yeah.
because industries evolve, technologies evolve, people's needs evolve.
Hmm.
And so really this has helped us refocus how we approach these things and it's just um I think most agencies have a continuous improvement initiative of some type.
Hmm.
And this is something that is being embraced and sort of folded into that. So I don't see this as ever ending, and I don't think it should.
Absolutely. Ever evolving, right? Based on the needs
Hmm.
of the customer. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, what would you say when thinking about barriers
Hmm.
that can make customer experience improvements difficult at times? What would you say are the barriers that you've ran into?
We definitely ran into some issues with our online system, and we do from time to time.
Mm,
And we understood really intimately how that impacted us on the back office side of things.
mm,
But this customer experience mapping helped us understand on a really deep level what that looked like from the customer standpoint.
mm,
We heard every single day the struggles our customers were having as they called in,
mm,
but getting to really sit down and have those conversations helped us see step by step where each pinch point was. So, technology is fantastic. It's not always friendly.
right.
And we were able to identify areas where, you know, this really needs to be more accessible. This really needs to be more user friendly. And so that is a constant conversation that we're having, and we are constantly taking the time to address those issues. And I would say that was probably the biggest barrier.
Yeah.
Um, we also we needed more staff, and this helped tell us the story.
Mm, hmm.
It really helped us to elevate awareness about needing that because we had customers dealing with hour and a half hold times.
Wow.
I don't know about you. I don't have an hour and a half to take out of my day to wait on hold just so I can get what I need to go to work. That's a
Yeah.
huge barrier. It's definitely a problem. So, in addition to expanding our team, we also added a callback feature to our phone system. So
Nice.
customers, yeah, they can now opt for a callback. So they don't have to sit on hold. They can call us and get basically in line for that callback, and they can go about their day. And we will definitely call them back.
I love that callback feature. That is so
Me
helpful.
too. I absolutely
Thank
love it.
you. Thank you on behalf
Yeah.
of all folks calling in that you added that. That's great. So my next question, but this might be it. You might have answered it. Was, what was one or what is that you notice one reoccurring challenge that your customers face when interacting with their agency? So would you say this is it, like the system and technology kind of glitch that can happen, or the fact that there's that delay, or is there another reoccurring instance that folks are facing with your agency that you're currently working to improve?
The technology piece is the one thing we're really focused on. We want people to be able to self-serve as much as possible. If they are having to reach out to us,
Mhm.
it's because they're experiencing a problem, and we want to be able to address those problems right away rather than um, having everybody need to call to fix something glitchy in our system. That doesn't work. It's just not a working model. Um, so really making sure that our systems are working the way that they're supposed to, so that our customers don't have to reach out to us. Obviously, we want to be here for them when they need us, and we want to be available and accessible to them
Yeah.
when they need us, but they shouldn't need us because something's broken online.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Did you want to go a little bit more into the customer experience story around what you're doing with your security guards?
Yeah, absolutely.
And mainly in terms of, we're looking in terms of like the impacts it had on the customers and clients you serve, and also on the staff, right? Because when we do these improvements, absolutely our focus is the recipient who is receiving the benefit of the services, our customer. But we also want to bear in mind that when we do these improvements, we're streamlining processes for the staff and not creating extra administrative burden. So if you can share a little bit about how this project really helps to impact both sides in a positive and efficient way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, I can say that our time to license, which is something that we're really focused on, has vastly improved. We went from about 59 days
Mhm.
from first receiving an application to licensing someone down to 12.
Wow. Wow,
Yep,
wow, wow. If I had sound effects right now,
I
they'd
know.
they'd be going off fireworks and everything. That's amazing. Here, wait, maybe I can
Yeah.
do something for that. That is amazing. Oh my gosh, to 12 days. Let's do
12 days. 12 days. Oh, I love
it.
it. Our
That's
call
impressive.
volume, yeah, 100%. And I mean, again, we thought about these things as we were doing our day-to-day work, but without that customer experience mapping,
Mhm.
we didn't know where to start, essentially. We were
Right.
sort of in survival mode,
Mhm.
and so were our customers. And that's a terrible place to be. So through these improvements, our call volume dropped by 72%, which means that the folks who are answering the phones now have more time to process those licenses, which
That's huge.
lowers the amount of time people have to wait for their license. Yeah, it's absolutely huge. So my team, these are dedicated professionals. They got into state service for the right reasons. They care about every person they talk to.
Mhm.
And they went from feeling frustrated and burnt out and just at the end of the day wanting to turn their brains off entirely, to showing up feeling accomplished and optimistic and not dreading every phone call, not cringing every time the phone rang. And they're just so much more excited to be doing what they're doing. And that is huge.
That is
Um,
huge. That makes me happy right there. Because I mean, isn't that where customer experience starts is with really the staff that's helping, right? Because if they're not having a
yes,
good experience, that goes through the phone, that goes through the work that they're doing, and then it's felt on the other end. So that's huge. I love that you're
absolutely.
investing in your staff as well.
It's so important. It's so important. We can't do what we need to do for our customers if we are not in a good place.
Mhm.
If everybody is just so at a loss, it just
Yeah,
doesn't work. It doesn't work for anyone.
scrambling and
Um,
frustrated. The morale is down. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And just um, knowing that we're living up to or beginning at least to live up to our purpose statement, that we're doing everything we can to create those equitable outcomes for folks who are looking to be licensed um, is just, it's huge. It means that we're not just giving lip service to being a part of this agency and a part of solutions for people. We have a huge diversity of applicants, and it's so important that everybody can access what they need because our customers can't take their business somewhere else.
Right. No, I'm happy you brought that up. Absolutely, accessibility is huge, and all the services that we provide, we really have to take time and do an equity pause and do some empathy mapping and personas. And
Yes.
I'm thinking of like all these different components that go into the journey mapping and customer experience work. And so when you talk about, considering what's equitable and how to help create equitable outcomes in your work, what is at least one nugget that you would want to share with folks as far as how to go about doing this in their work?
I think it's really important to I think it's really important to understand where the public is
Mhm.
and where regulations require us to be and try to get them to meet as much as possible.
Mhm.
So a there's a principle in special education called least restrictive environment. And what that means is you are allowing someone to operate in an environment with as few barriers as possible. I think it's really, really important for us to pare down those barriers to what the law requires and nothing more.
Mm.
We want everybody to be able to um, access what they need without feeling like they need an IT degree to do it or feeling like they need to be a lawyer to understand it. Um, it's not equitable to expect somebody who might just be getting their first job
Right.
to understand the ins and outs of the law.
Yeah,
So we need to take those regulations, take the public's needs, and try to make them fit as closely as possible.
absolutely. Reduce barriers. I'm hearing plain language in there.
Yes, 100%. Plain language is actually, we're undergoing a huge plain language initiative in DOL. So you'll see some changes to our website as we try to make that make sense to the average person. I've read some of our web pages and they've gone completely over my head, and I do this every day,
Yeah.
and that is unacceptable.
No, nobody wants to read stereo instruction when trying to get help.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, how discouraging when you're trying to maybe start a new career and you go looking for information about it and it's like reading Martian.
Mhm.
It just makes no sense whatsoever. And you're like, well, I guess that's not for me. That's not the case.
Right. We don't want folks to feel defeated before they even get started.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So it sounds like I'm just going to say, I hear you called yourself guinea pigs earlier. I'm going to say guinea pigs on the way to gurus. But if there was one thing you could change, if one change that you would like to see in how your agency approaches customer experience, what would that be?
We should have done this earlier.
Yeah.
We should have been doing this all along, in my opinion. I think that anytime you are in a position where you're a regulatory body, you have to make sure you're understanding the experiences of the people you're serving. You have to make sure that you are gaining their perspective because at the end of the day, we all want the same things.
Mhm.
We want folks to understand what's required of them. We want folks to understand how to be safe. We want folks to understand how to be good professionals, we're all after the same thing. So if you leave out half of the equation,
Mhm.
you can't possibly be doing your best to serve.
I love that well-rounded outlook. Thank you for that. That was great.
Absolutely.
What support, tools, or partnerships do you think would help you all move forward?
Oh gosh. We've done a really great job in partnering across our agency and division. I think that if we made this a statewide initiative for all public-facing agencies to undergo this customer experience journey mapping, it would go
Mm-hmm.
a long way towards people feeling like we are actually serving them. Um, I think everyone who's been in a customer facing position in public service has heard my tax dollars pay your salary.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously, to an extent, that's true. Um, so we have a responsibility. We have a very serious responsibility to make sure that we are accessible, that we are hearing them, that we are giving them what they need.
Absolutely. Got to be accountable, right? And
Absolutely.
I hear you on the enterprise-wide journey mapping, and we're
100%.
on our way soon and more to come.
I love that.
Yay. So do we. We're super excited about the work that we'll be diving into. And I have to say that a lot of the agencies that we've talked with and kind of already started working with, they're excited too. It seems like, there's so much good heart at the core of all this work with, like you said earlier, folks, you don't become a public servant for the money, right? You become a
100%.
public servant for the heart of it and the heart of the work. So I am looking
Yes.
forward to this work. People are where we're at. They want to see it get better. They want to see trust in the government grow. They want to see trust in state government like just flourish because we're being accountable and transparent and humble.
Yes.
Hey, if we don't know how to do this part right, just we're we're working on getting it right, but we need you to tell us what we can do better.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that there are some important partnerships that we can build with the public
Hmm.
to make sure that they are getting what they need. Part of that, of course, is customer feedback, but I think that there's something to be said for reaching out to different professional organizations who might need some assistance in making sure that they're meeting those regulatory requirements and they have access to everything that they could possibly need from us.
Absolutely. Do not minimize the importance of third-party partnerships.
Absolutely not. They have a perspective that we don't.
Hmm.
And we can't do this work the way it needs to be done without every perspective.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you. And
Mhm.
my last question, what's one success story you have that you can apply to other agencies? They might be doing a different type of work than what you all do. But if you can share a success story that you think other agencies may be able to take from, what would that be?
I think that our biggest success has been because of the nature of our work and our interaction with our customers. Honestly, it's been making ourselves more accessible by phone,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Nobody wants to talk to a robot. Nobody wants to talk to a chat bot. Nobody wants to Google everything.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wants to talk to an expert,
Mm-hmm.
and that is across the board. So really, if there are steps you can take to make yourself accessible so that a human can speak to a human and get their questions answered and feel confident about the answers they get. I cannot stress how important that is. People really, really appreciate when they call us and they have the opportunity to talk to us and they understand that we care and we want to get them the answers they need.
Love it. The human touch. Nothing
Yes,
can replace the human touch. AI is amazing, but let's not forget to keep those lines open,
that's
keep it
right.
accessible, keep the experience on the phone and ready to help people. Love it. Okay. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, we went through those questions so fast. You all are wonderful. You're wonderful. Thank you for all the
Thank
work you're
you.
doing, all the intention you're putting into it. Um, I just know that, I've had obviously my experiences with needing to get licenses. And so I'm really excited that you are doing so much in the realm of being there for people at first call
Absolutely.
resolution. It's just
Yes, that is
wonderful.
huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And this is something that we are doing with other licensing areas also. So we were the first, we are not the last. There is another team going through it as we speak,
Ah,
and we're just doing this on a rolling basis throughout our entire division to make sure that
hmm.
anyone who needs us can get to us.
So that's another success story that you can transfer to other agencies is you took what you
Absolutely.
did as a scalable model and now you're scaling it throughout the entire agency, which is something I really want to highlight that's also transferable because um, you hear of process improvements that work in one area, but
Hmm.
does it often get shared to the other areas that do similar type of work? And what if it did, right? Like what if you did have
Yes,
this model that really works good for you, and then there's other divisions that do similar type of work, and now it's going throughout the whole agency. What that yells in my ears is consistency of service for a whole
absolutely.
agency. So I love that you're now on the roll as you.
Yes, we are. And it's so important because if you talk to other licensing teams in my division, a lot of the same pain points exist for their customers. This isn't necessarily isolated. You know, we are one DOL, so we have the same priorities. And so
Love
we
it.
are scaling that.
One DOL, one heart, one beat. Love
That's
it.
right.
If you all are listening, take good notes. This is inspiring. Thank you so much for your time with us,
Absolutely.
Danica. We appreciate you, your team, your agency. Again, you all have been so wonderful and talking with us and helping us as we're starting out this journey. And I just have no doubt you might get a few people hitting you up on Teams and wanting
That
some
would be
some personal advice or consultation. But
I
thank you.
would love to. I'm more than happy to talk about this. I will advocate for this process from the rooftops. It has made a huge difference for all of us. So yeah, any questions that anybody has, advice, if I don't know the answer, I can point you in the right direction.
All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you.
Danica Taylor, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Y'all have a great day. Bye.